The evening air was unusually warm for April. At first, Caden's parents weren't worried. He often played outside near their home in the small Blount County community known as Top of the World. He loved the woods, loved animals, loved the freedom of running around with his dog, Chula, never straying too far. But when the sun began to sink and 6 o'clock came and went, something felt wrong. Caden didn't come home. At first, they assumed it was a game, hide and seek, a childish adventure that had gone a little too far. They called his name, checked the yard, walked the nearby paths. Nothing. As darkness settled in, panic replaced hope. Caden wasn't wearing a coat. The temperature was dropping fast, and now the woods that once felt familiar had turned into something dangerous. That's when they made the call. Within minutes, the Blount County Sheriff's Office was alerted. Time mattered. Every passing hour increased the risk. The sheriff knew it too well. When a child goes missing, there is no room for hesitation. An endangered child alert was issued that very night. The message spread fast. Caden Leach, 4 feet tall, brown hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing a black shirt and gray sweatpants. No jacket. Search teams moved quickly. Deputies, first responders, volunteers. Nearly 100 people flooded the area, combing through more than 2,000 acres of rugged terrain. A military Black Hawk helicopter roared overhead, scanning the woods from the sky while ground teams pushed forward on foot. The community didn't wait to be asked. Neighbors dropped everything. Phones buzzed with alerts. Social media posts were shared thousands of times. Strangers showed up with flashlights, water, food, and coffee. No one wanted to imagine what could happen if the night dragged on. But hour after hour passed. No sign of Caden. The woods grew colder. The darkness thicker. Fear crept into every conversation. Rescuers worried about hypothermia, about injury, about the unthinkable. Still, no one gave up. As morning finally broke, the search widened. Crews checked abandoned buildings, the nearby lake, deep forest trails. They tried to think like a child. Where would a scared boy go? Where would he hide? Hope was fading. Then, just as the afternoon wore on, a sound broke the silence. A low, unmistakable growl coming from deep within the woods, and suddenly everything changed. The sound came again, closer this time. The rescuers stopped, exchanging nervous glances. It wasn't a cry, it wasn't a human voice, it was a dog. They followed the noise carefully, pushing through thick branches and uneven ground, every step slow and deliberate. The growl grew louder, more defensive, more urgent, and then they saw him. Caden was sitting on the forest floor, curled in on himself, just a quarter-mile from his home, alive, cold, shaking, but alive. What stunned everyone wasn't just that he'd survived nearly 22 hours alone in the woods without a coat. It was that he wasn't alone. Standing between Caden and the rescuers was Chula, his black and white terrier. Her body was tense, her teeth bared. Her growl wasn't fear, it was protection. She had stayed with him the entire night, through the cold, through the darkness, through every sound in the woods. When deputies approached, Chula refused to move, placing herself directly in front of the boy. Only when they spoke softly, reassuringly, did her posture relax. Caden was pale, his skin tinged purple from the cold. He whispered that he was freezing. The team wrapped him in blankets immediately and rushed him to Blount Memorial Hospital to be evaluated for hypothermia. Doctors confirmed what everyone feared: he was dangerously cold but stable. And Chula? She never left his side. Later, Caden's parents struggled to put the moment into words. Seeing their son safe felt unreal. Seeing the dog who had guarded him through the night felt like a miracle. Authorities would later say it plainly: Chula saved his life. In a world where panic spread fast and fear almost took over, one small dog stood her ground and refused to let anything happen to her boy. Sometimes heroes don't wear uniform. Sometimes they have 4 legs.